Welcome back to Me First with your host, Drew, the resident jokester with a heart of gold, and Amanda, optimistic space cadet who sees opportunity everywhere. We dive deep into everything from navigating love and family to crushing your business goals, all with a heaping helping of conversation and good humor. So make sure you subscribe and join the Me First fam. New episodes drop 3 weeks out of every month on the second, third, and fourth Thursday. Want to know more about a specific topic? Let us know in the comments. Welcome back to the Me First podcast with your hosts, Drew and Amanda. This is the third of our 3-part series on procrastination. Today, we are going to dive into actionable strategies to stop procrastinating. We'll break down practical tips, effective tools, and mindset shifts that can help you to tackle procrastination head on with a mix of humor. You missed that in the pre-recording. Real life stories and practical advice will help you conquer your procrastination tendencies and boost your productivity. Drew, what do you got for us today?
Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I was enjoying teaching you one of our high school, is it an idiosyncrasy that we had going on out at Tempe High? But it was an obsession. I know that's for sure. Like, it was like, oh, can you do that girl thing? That's what people would always, can you do that girl thing? Goy, goy, goy. I'm like, how do you do that? Goy, goy. He's like, you do it from the back of your throat. So I'm doing great. I guess they weren't doing that out in D-Town. They weren't doing it in Detroit.
No, they were not doing that in Detroit. Yeah.
Well, my Tempe High folks, y'all, who remembers that?
Raise your hand. Leave a note in the comments.
Tap in Buffaloes. Oh, 4.
Man, so that was a thing, huh?
It was a whole thing.
Right. You'll have to.
The teachers hated it.
I'm sure. I'm sure they did.
Because it's like partially throwing your voice. And so they'd be like, who's doing that? Where's that coming from?
Oh, man. Man, a bunch of kids doing that. I couldn't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. Good times.
All right. See, day's going good outside of that.
Yeah, it's going good.
All right.
How about you?
Good. My day is going good. Can't complain. Enjoying the weather. I mean, I could, but who really wants to listen right now? No one. So
I'll listen. I'll listen.
I appreciate that. But we got some important tasks to talk about today, because on the last episode, we talked about why people procrastinate. Today, we're going to get into how to stop procrastinating. So I have some lessons to learn here, because as we all have learned over the past 2 episodes, I am a professional procrastinator. So we're going to lock in today. Yes. T-shirt, headband, everything.
Headband.
Yes. I can't be stopped.
Marathon procrastinator.
That is correct. Okay. So I am excited about today's episode to figure out some tips and tricks on how I can get this thing rectified. So, we've locked in what procrastination actually is. Why it happens, some of the reasons as to why it happens. I think understanding any issue or problem is the first step to fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, procrastination, of course, it isn't, I think, as minor as just being lazy. It's a bigger problem. There's a lot of small little issues that can factor into why people procrastinate. And today we're just going to give you guys some practical tips on how to overcome it. So I think one of the big things is to set some clear goals. One of your faves.
Okay.
SMART goals.
I love a good SMART goal, and it's near and dear.
Yes,
near and dear to me.
Yeah, I know it's near and dear to your heart. So, you SMART goals, you make your goals specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So, you have a lot of knowledge in that. If you want to even go into detail as, how you would shape those kind of goals, I think the audience could appreciate that. You're very good at that.
Yeah,
taught me some
Absolutely.
lessons.
I'm all
Yeah, you
smart
like,
goals.
lock me in.
Lock me in. So SMART goals are dope because, you know, a goal without a plan is just a dream or an idea, right? And if we don't have the path to get there, it's not, I don't even call it a goal. I just call it like a thing, something I thought of, right? And so specific, measurable, achievable, or attainable, relevant, and time bound. Now, sorry, achievable or action based. And I I prefer the A. So there are a couple of different ways SMART is defined. I prefer the A to be actionable.
Mhm.
And because I think achievable, I've spoken with people who focus on the achievable one, and it makes them tamp down their goals in some respects. It's like, oh, I want to do this thing. Oh, that's not achievable. I'm going to do this thing instead. And it's like, it is achievable. You just have to put the action steps and have it be measurable.
Right.
So specific, what actually is it? Is it that I want to start a savings account, or is your goal, I want to start a savings account? Like, okay, go to Ally and start a savings account with $10. Is that really the goal? Like, no, that's probably not the goal. The goal is that you want to save a certain amount of money or a certain percentage of your income over a specific amount of time, right? So be really specific with what the goal is so that you can then measure that goal. So instead of I want to create a saving or I want to open a savings account, the goal is I want to save $1,000 by the end of 2024. Okay. So then you take that and you say, let's say there were 4 months left in the year. There aren't, but maybe there are by the time this episode comes out. So let's say there are 4 months left in the year. Then I am going to save $1,000 in the next 4 months. That's $250,000. That's $250 a month. Or if you get paid every 2 weeks, that's $125 per check, right? And then the measurable, you can measure that. You can say, okay, I can know if by month 2, at the end of month 2, if I don't have $500 saved, I am not on track to my goal of 1,000, right? And then the action base. Now, those action steps are what a lot of people sometimes consider to be the goal, right? So in this particular goal, an action step is going to be research which banks have the highest yield on savings and decide which bank I'm going to, or which credit union or bank I'm going to create my savings account with. Next, it's going to be actually open the savings account. And then the next thing is going to be to fund it with your initial investment, if that's a requirement, or set up your Zelle or your transfer so that you can, or your direct deposit so that you can have that money going in. Right. And then relevant. Is this goal relevant? Is it something that you actually want to do? Or is it just something that, you know, you kind of, again, you thought of one day, it's not really something you're really connected with? And time bound. That time bound by the end of 2024, right? So by December 31st, 2024, I am going to have $1,000 in my Ally high yield savings account. And that would be a SMART goal, as opposed to I'm going to start a savings account and save some money.
Perfect.
I love SMART goals.
I know you do. I knew you were the perfect person to speak on it. Thank you so much for that. Amanda is great at SMART goals. She has said it to me multiple times, so I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys
bragging on my SMART goal ability. Like, hey, by the way, you know,
got them SMART goals. But goals are so important, I think, to overcoming procrastination and being clear. You know, as you stated, being clear about what the goal is. You know, why do you have this goal? What's your why?
Yeah.
You know, do you, is it something you really even want to do? You know, are you just doing it because you think it's the right thing to do? Because if it's not something you really want to do, 9 times out of 10, you won't follow through with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think the second thing is, you know, creating a schedule or a routine to get something done. For me, on my health journey and cycling, I have to try to create a routine. So I get up at 3:30, and while I fight myself often, I'm like, all right, I got to get out the house by 4 o'clock. I need to be where I need to be by 4:30. I gotta, if I'm gonna do an hour, cool. I have a goal, 20 miles. I need to get home. I need to get showered. If, if I'm gonna do strength training, eat my breakfast, I have to have a plan. Otherwise, I'm winging it, and then I just, I just have no direction. I'm kind of all over the place. So definitely just creating a schedule and things that can help with creating schedules, planners, calendars, even just regular pen and paper, to just kind of help you stay on task. I think visually seeing things, I know that it helps me to stay on task when I can visually see what the plan is or what the goal is. 'Cause if not, I'm like,
yeah, no, 100%.
yeah, out of sight, out of mind. That's how I think about it,
It's like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'm just going to be walking in circles.
There you go. I'll just be walking around.
I love
That's
that option.
exactly it, right? It's a good one. When all those fellas just walk in circles.
Just walk in circles. I love it.
Yeah.
I've been using Motion. I started using Motion a few months ago, and they're not paying me to say this, but maybe one day they will be. But I really like the tool. Not only does it help me to organize my personal time, but it also makes it so that, a lot of us, right? We have a million different things going on, whether it's our main work, if we have side hustles, or if we have, businesses, or if we have, if you're trying to write a book, or if you're trying to, whatever you got going on. And it brings all of my different calendars into one place, and then allows me to brain dump my tasks, prioritize those tasks from low to ASAP. And then it slots that all those tasks in where I have the time based on the work blocks that I set up, right? So I could say, like, okay, if I put a task that's for 360 home services, that task can only land on these days at this time. So whenever I don't have a meeting that's scheduled or an event that's scheduled in those time frames, it's going to say, okay, put that task in there. And if there's no space, it's going to tell me, hey, I can't find a task in that time frame. So then that tells me, hey, I need to maybe replan my calendar, because if I'm saying that this is important, I don't have the space in my calendar to do it. So Motion has been really helpful for me.
All right. So just to double back, school me up on what Motion is exactly.
So Motion is an AI calendar assistant, essentially. Okay. And it allows you to link all of your calendars. So all of the different calendars that you use can be in one place. It allows you also to create booking links that you can share with others so that they can book time with you. And what challenge for me is, I have businesses, and when I was still working in corporate, I had my businesses that I was running and my personal life, right? And so when I would send someone a calendar and I would be like, oh, we decided to do this as a family, and I didn't have that blocked off on this calendar. And so someone schedules it, and it's like, so I either got to reschedule, or I got to, or I have to miss out on something else. So Motion brings all of your calendars together. And then it also allows you to create project plans. So it has a project planner as well. So if you're working on a project, you can put all of the different things that need to happen in that project, and then it will push those things into your calendar in the times that you have. You can say, I have to have this project done by the 30th. These are all the things that need to happen, all the tasks that need to happen. It's going to take me 10 minutes to do this. It's going to take me an hour to do that. It's going to take me 3 hours to do this, and I'm willing to break that up into 30-minute blocks or 1-hour blocks. And then it just schedules everything for you. So then when I wake up in the morning, do all my stuff, come into the office, sit down, I open Motion, and it's like, this is what you should be doing right now. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm just checking them off as I go. And it's like, so I don't have to think, okay, well, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do now? It's like, no, I brain dumped on Sunday night everything that I have to do this week in there. So it's a very helpful tool that now the key and what came to mind when I was reading this, when you shared this, creating the schedule is when I first tried Motion, I think it was either 7 or 14-day trial. And I was like, I'm probably going to end up canceling this because it might the greatest tool in the world, but I'm probably not going to even use it. I'm going to be excited about it for a day or two. And then I'm just going to stop using it. But I actually found so much value in it that I use it every day. And I've been using it now since like maybe December.
Okay.
And I really, really like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the keys to success. You have to use the tools that are available to you. I have so many planners and I'm like, yep, I probably should write in that. I should write some stuff.
Yeah.
I should put my schedule in there. And
I've always
it's such
wanted
a struggle.
I've always wanted to be a paper, like a planner book person.
Yeah.
I'm not. And finally, like a year and a half ago, I just finally was like, look, it's not me. I don't do it. Like they're so pretty and
you know, right?
Like, where is it? I've got all of the different color pens and you should see my sticker collection. No, I don't do it.
Just not doing it. Yeah. I have amazing planners and I'm just like, they're just hanging out, collecting dust. Yeah. Like, I'm more of I think electronic, if I can do something on my iPad or whatever, I just think that works better for me. I know some people get so frustrated with the digital world, but that's just the world we live in right now. And it just makes my life easier. We're on the go. I don't want to flip through pages. I don't want to highlight it. When I can just hold it down and it highlights itself, that is perfect for me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So
it's the world we live in.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. It's not going to change anytime soon. So, pen and paper is cool. I think it has its uses. Don't think planning for me is one of them, but it does have its uses.
It's like, I like to journal. I like to journal with the pen and paper.
Yes.
It's cathartic, right?
Yeah.
But most everything else, unless I'm jotting something down.
Yeah.
It's going in some type of an electronic device.
Yeah, for sure. It's just so much easier. Yeah, I agree. The other part I think of that is time blocking, which I struggle with. I try to. Sometimes I'm just all over the place. I'm just a mess sometimes, and I'm like, all right, yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask. So when it comes to time blocking, what do you think is the toughest part about that? What makes it the most like this isn't working out?
I think for me, my brain, it's like it's 120 miles per hour every day. So I want to get every single thing done at once. So to sit and kind of just focus on one thing. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, we're doing this. But then I'm like, oh, nope, got to go do this right here. And then I'm like, all right, I got to do this. It's just very difficult sometimes for me just to sit kind of focus in one area because I have so many things going through my head that I need to get done. And then, to go back to the previous thing, that's where that decision fatigue comes in. And I'm just like, nope, can't do it. I got to go take a nap. I just can't.
This is just not working out.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried body doubling?
What is this you speak of? Body doubling.
So this is one of my TikTok finds. So this one's from TikTok University. And so body doubling is said to be helpful for especially people with adult ADHD. And
have that.
And it's the idea that if I'm in my office at my desk by myself, I will get more distracted than if if Katie's sitting on the couch over here doing her own thing.
Yep.
For some reason, I can be that much more focused on the thing that I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And execute on it more effectively. by just having someone else there, not communicating with me, not talking to me, because that's not helpful,
Right.
but just having someone there. And it's even to the point where, like, during COVID and when work from home really, really increased, some people were like, because there are a lot of jobs where you're not really working necessarily in a team, like coders and things like that. Some people were like, well, they would get onto a Teams or a Zoom or Google Meet, on mute, both listening to their own music, both doing their own thing, not sharing screen or anything, but just having that other person there,
right,
like, motivates you to work more consistently. So during a time block, if it's like, okay, I know I need to do this, having someone else there during that hour or 2 hours that you're going to be time blocking. And then when you take your little breaks, then you can take your break and talk, and you have someone there. So body doubling is what I've been told they call it.
All
Sounds
right.
like a little murdery, but
yeah. So you can pick someone in your house, or you can, like you said, do Teams or whatever, Google Meets or whatever. All right, cool. Sounds like you're volunteering.
So I don't know if you've ever seen me do this, but I've actually gone live on like Facebook or TikTok, and I just put the caption of, work with me, and I'll just be working away. I've done it a few times, and it's helpful. Like, it's just like, that. It's like because it keeps me at my desk and stops me from being like, oh, I want to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do that. It's like, I'm working on this. And now there are, I have like 6 followers, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, now there's 1.5 people who know 6. And I'm assuming that 1.5 of them are rocking with me, right? So it's like, now I've got 1.5 people who know that I said I am going to fix this page on the website, or I'm going to, create this proposal or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. There's something about it.
I have to try it, because if I'm just sitting here by myself, it's probably not going to work out. Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely I'm going to get up.
I'm totally down.
Yeah, I'm going to find something to do.
And it's like the beauty of it for me, and this is going to sound horrible, but it's like, I don't need to I don't have to talk to you.
Right.
Like, we're not interacting.
Yeah.
You're just there.
Yeah. You just sit there and be quiet.
Busy.
Yes, all I need you to do.
Will you come in here, please?
Yeah, don't talk. You just sit there. I like it. All right.
Yeah. And don't look at me or
right.
Like, no interaction whatsoever. Read a book.
No,
you do,
exactly.
you.
Do you while I'm doing me. All right. I'm gonna have to give it a try and see how it works. Because I need to know. Sweet. All right, good deal. So time blocking, body doubling. All right, y'all write that down. That's an experience, it sounds like. All right. So one of the other methods that they say works is to use the Eisenhower matrix. So that is a method of basically prioritizing tasks. So the matrix is supposed to help you figure out what's urgent, what's important, so you can tackle your to-do list without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling stressed. So you break it down into 4 quadrants. Do you know this method? Because you are smiling away over there.
Oh, man.
All right. So you break it down into 4 quadrants. You have urgent and important, not urgent but important, urgent but not important, not urgent, not important. So do you use this often?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's I never knew it was called the Eisenhower matrix. I always called it the urgency quadrants. Just made up my own name for it.
That worked.
But yeah, man, when deciding, what needs to be what needs to be done right now, what needs to be delegated, what needs to be scheduled, and what needs to be thrown away. Like, what do I need to stop doing? It's very helpful with us. It's very helpful for a start, stop, continue as well. If you're trying to be like, okay, where am I being most effective and least effective? Yeah. Love that. Now I know. I was wondering what the Eisenhower matrix was.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever used it?
I haven't, but I can see where that would be beneficial for me because it's in my procrastination, I will often pick something that is not important to do over anything urgent. So I can definitely utilize this and see how this can help me change my bad habit.
Have you ever read Eat That Frog?
I I have several times.
So it's essentially do the hardest thing first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We
Thing that
eat
you want to
frog.
do the least.
That's it. Yeah, and just get it out the way. But yeah, I have that book on my bookshelf. I may need to read it again. See if it can help me out.
I might need to borrow it.
No, right? I've had it for some years. It's a good book. It definitely have some good tools in there. They can help you out. You just gotta put them in motion. The second one is the Pomodoro technique. And that is where you work in intervals. So you set a timer for 25 minutes and you work without interruptions. I know you know this one too. Then you take a 5-minute break and you repeat the cycle. You can also do longer breaks for 15 to 30 minutes where you kind of rest and recharge. I have tried this one, which I find that this does help. I use this one a lot at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it helps me kind of get my day going and stay productive. So that one's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that one's real good with some focus music.
Yeah.
Some what is it? 420 hertz music.
Mm-hmm.
Some it might not be 420, but some brain waves and just kind of dive in for 20 or 30.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can get done with 30 minutes of focus work.
Yeah, just uninterrupted, just zone in and just go for it. And you're like, man, I really accomplished a lot. Because it's easy to get distracted, especially, if I'm at work, people asking questions, people want this, they want this. And it's just like, I just got to focus in for a second, get my things accomplished. And yeah, like you said, if you just lock in for a few minutes, you can get a lot done.
Yeah. Do you remember Kelly used to have that thing on her computer where she was like, it was something like I'm busy.
Oh yeah.
You can approach me.
Yeah.
It's like either you can approach or I'm busy. Cause it's tough. It can be tough when you're in an office, with an open floor plan, or, if you like to keep your door open, because you don't want to be like, don't ask me any questions.
Right.
But
you kind of do.
You kind of.
Don't ask me nothing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because it can be overwhelming and it really can get you off task sometimes. Even now, sometimes when I go in, I'm like, man, I know I have a lot to focus on during the day. And I have quite a bit of people that like to ask me questions all day. And I'm like, so I'll start today with, oh, hey, got a lot to focus on today. I'm really going to be locked into my task. So you really don't need me.
I'm locking
in, and that doesn't always work, but I try.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Try and drop the hints.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Oh, I bet you got a lot going on today.
Right.
You're probably going to be, I'm probably not going to hear from you.
Right.
All day, huh?
All day, because I'm locked in, and they're just
I'm busy. I bet you're busy too.
Yeah. They're like, yep, nope, I'm unlocking you. Don't you worry.
Like, no, I'm not locked at all.
Right.
I have all kinds of questions.
I'm good.
Random stories to tell you.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, your day can go by so fast when those distractions hit. And it's like, man, and it'll be end of the day and you're like, wow, I didn't do anything. That's great. That's great. Now I have all this to do tomorrow. That's great. So yeah,
man.
Yeah. Those two methods, definitely utilize them if you can, and I'm sure it can help you out. Accountability partners, I think those are great, especially when you like working out. I think they're great for working out, diets. Anybody that'll say, "Hey, you're off task," reel it in. I think those are great.
You're listening to the Me First podcast, brought to you by 360 Home Services. At 360, our mission is to transform spaces and redefine comfort. Check us out at 360cleanit.com. That's 360cleanit.com. You can book right online and get your space transformed. Start redefining your comfort.
Now, with accountability partners, would you agree that your accountability partner has to be someone who, one, will be honest with you?
Yeah.
Right? Will be willing to say, like, hey, you said you were going to go to the gym or hiking or to a walk with me 3 times a week, and you've had an excuse twice.
Yes.
And it has to be someone that you are not going to get upset with when they tell you that, because accountability is like, so when we get defensive, right? It's like, man, you're nagging me, or man, you're on my tail, or, whatever. And it's like, you asked me to do that. Like, that's accountability, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes accountability, I think it was Eric Thomas who said this, accountability is seen as bullying when we weren't committed to the action that we said we wanted to be held accountable to.
Absolutely.
And so accountability partners are huge. And I definitely love accountability partners. I need one right now, actually, for I need an accountability partner. But yeah, you got to be willing to accept that accountability and take action and not get mad at the person on the other end. And it has to go both ways.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, accountability partners, I mean, they have to be honest. I think, they have to have a little bit of thick skin to be okay if that person gets upset, because they're in the beginning, it's a challenge, Some people are trying to change some habits, do some things differently. There may be some hurt feelings, and it is what it is. You'll move past it. So I think they have to have a little bit of thick skin. So I may say, hey, you know what? You did say 3 times you were going to go to the gym. You haven't gone any. What's the deal? And it's like, well, I was sick. Well, I was. And I'm like, yeah, well, you didn't go. End result. So what are we doing? And of course,
you didn't start back up. Right?
Exactly. So where's the turnaround? So I think accountability partners, because that in human form, face to face, hey, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. I think those are just perfect. If you can find the right person, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
Yeah. Because not only to, offer the correction, but also to share your wins. When you're doing great, to say, hey, you know what? You did an excellent job. You said you was going to kill it 3 times. That's exactly what you did. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I think that's
and someone
great.
who's going to understand, like, that was something that's important to you,
right.
and help, because sometimes, like, your friends or your family, they might get tired of you talking about it.
Yeah.
Or they might not be locked into it themselves. And so, you might share this accomplishment, and you don't get the support or reaction that you're looking for.
Right.
And then it's discouraging, right? But if you have an accountability partner who is just as locked in, and you're able to give them their flowers and props, and then they're giving them to you, and you guys are both equally excited about the gains, it's like, whatever it might be, right? Because sometimes you need an accountability partner with your business.
Yep.
Sometimes you need an accountability partner with, it could be, maybe you and your friend, both have kids and busy lives, and you committed to keeping a cleaner house, or maybe it's committing to keeping your car clean. Maybe you and your best friend both have real messy cars, and you're like, no, we got to do better. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things, but like, you want someone who's going to be equally as excited about the wins, and someone who is as invested, right? Because like if you join a mastermind group for your business, you're in a group with people who are just as locked in, laser focused on their business. And so it's not like you're just asking a friend of yours who knows nothing about business or the type of business that you're in, hey, I'm planning on writing 3 blogs a week, for the next month so that I can get a backlog. They know nothing about blogging. And so when you say, hey,
wrote 2 blogs and, they don't even read it, or,
And they was like, that's great. Way to blog.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's also about making sure that you have the right accountability partner.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, encouragement goes a long way. Like when I'm cycling down the canal, there's always people running. I saw a guy the other day, and he was struggling, and I mean, I could tell he was out of breath. And I rolled past him. He's like, "Good morning." I said, "Hey," "Hey, keep going." I said, "You got it, bro, you got it." He just had this big old smile. He just kept going. I said, "You got this." I said, "You just got to keep going." But he was exhausted. It's a struggle, But you just need that encouragement sometimes. Just say, you just got to keep going because nothing's easy. Nothing worth it. At least is easy. So yeah,
what you just said. Do you think it means more? So you're cycling, he's running.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he's in his head, right? He's trying to keep himself motivated. He's in his head. He's by himself. Cause I know I was feeling that on not my last ride, but the ride before. And then I seen my cousin riding. He was doing great. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I am?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like I was about to set this bike down and that was gonna be my new home right there. I was gonna live right there.
I live right here now.
This is where I live. But do you think it means more to get that encouragement from someone else who's also doing it? Cause like you were writing.
Yeah.
It's not like you were some random person sitting on the, he's jogging by and you're some random person standing at the crosswalk eating a cheeseburger. Like, you did great, buddy. But like you're out there getting it and then you give him the encouragement and there's something right?
Yeah, definitely. Because, you could pretty much process, I understand the struggle. I'm out here riding. Yeah, you're running. But I'm like, we got to put essentially the same effort. I got to pedal these wheels. I got to get to where I'm going. It's hot.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. You by yourself. You doing your thing, and I'm doing my thing. So you understand the struggle. Even when you go to the gym, it's just like, man, people in there, you understand. If you at the gym, I'm at the gym, you understand what the struggle is. So absolutely, and I'm like, as I roll past him, I'm like, I felt he just needed it in that moment just to keep going, because it's tough. It's tough being out there, and especially, if you in that mode of you're heavier, you're just trying to get that weight down. It's not easy to run, it's not easy.
No.
So he was doing his thing. But I hope it meant a lot to him.
Now running guy.
I know, right?
Whoever he was.
Exactly.
Too,
yeah, good for him.
Dope. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, yep, accountability partners. Love them. Big thing, reward yourself for the accomplishments. Treat yourself. And I think people often forget to treat themselves. I know I'm guilty of it.
I don't.
Excuse us, y'all. Everybody, except for her, she don't. Okay.
I don't.
Sometimes I forget, I'm like, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to be focused here. You got to set this goal. You got to accomplish this. And I get so caught up in that I forget.
Yeah.
You're doing all right. You didn't do all bad, and it's all right to just say, good job on this. You got some opportunities here that you got to work on, but you did all right over here. So it's okay to say, hey, great job there. So, just a reminder that it's never going to be perfect, but definitely celebrate the small wins for sure and reward yourself.
How do we celebrate?
Hey,
I love celebrating.
Listen, what makes you happy? It depends on what the goal is, though. I wouldn't say if you on a diet, don't celebrate with a cheeseburger. Okay, don't do that.
I'm celebrating with a cheeseburger or a steak or some ice cream. Oh man.
So it just depends on the goal. But buy yourself something nice, Take yourself out. Do something you never have done,
Get a pedicure.
Yeah.
Go on a hot air balloon. I sent you that tactical thing.
Yes.
The other day. So I have a few things that I have to accomplish, and I was about to just book it because again, I never forget to treat myself. I was like, I got the points to do it. I was on the Chase site, and I was like, ooh, that's cool. But I thought to myself, you know what? I should
I should make this a result for there's some prospecting goals that I have that I need to make sure that I accomplish. So,
okay. So that's going to be an end goal.
That's going to be an end goal.
Oh,
and
nice.
So, for those of you out there, like thinking about, it doesn't have to be food. It doesn't even have to be spending money, right? Like it could be treating yourself to going to the park and, reading a book in the shade. Now, not in July, but in Arizona, but it's beautiful to do that in October, November, right? It could be treating yourself to it could be treating yourself to an afternoon off, right? If you're, especially for entrepreneurs out there, I want to speak to entrepreneurs out there because hashtag no days off, right? Team no days off. And no, that, so treating yourself to, even if it's wrapping up, 2 hours earlier than you would, or sending a team member to do something that you normally would have done yourself, and, allowing yourself to spend some time reading a book or hanging out with, with family or with your dog or whatever. So it doesn't always have to be something that you're spending money on, or it doesn't always have to be food, candy, sweets. I have to remind myself of that. It doesn't always have to be.
Candy sweets are good, but you're right. It doesn't always have to be that.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, peeps. So far, we've discussed a bunch of practical tips on overcoming procrastination, setting clear goals, using SMART goals, creating some schedules, using the Eisenhower matrix, and some more tips. I want you guys to think about your own procrastination habits and how you guys can overcome them using some of our topics today. On the next episode, we are going to explore the idea of the power of routines, where Amanda's going to take us down the path of how to create successful routines. And hopefully that can also help us move out of the path of procrastination. Isn't that right, Amanda?
Routine.
Man.
Without them, I'd be nothing because my procrastination muscle is so strong.
Is it so strong? I'm super excited.
Like, I have the rest of my muscles, like I need to build those up, but like my procrastination muscle is strong. I've worked it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Same here. All right. Well, people, as always, hit us up with your success stories on how you overcame procrastination. You can drop them in the email, hit us on the social media, subscribe, share, leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys tune into the next show. We look forward to seeing you. All right, guys. See ya.
All right. We'll catch you guys next time.